Good evening. I hope you guys are able to see my screen and able to hear me as well. Alright guys. Now what we're gonna do today is we will proceed with the objects in Java, okay, whatever we have seen so far. Okay. So always remember some of the basic concepts when it comes to objects. That is, say whenever you create an object, okay, whenever you create an object, if you say something like this, if you say dog d1 is equal to new of dog, okay, this is how you will create the object. Okay, now whenever you create an object, some memory will be allocated for this object, guys. Okay, some memory will be allocated for this object, and object might be created at some memory location. Say it is created at memory location 3000. Okay, so it will occupy from 3000 to 3007. Okay, it will occupy from 3000 to 3007. Okay, this d1 object, d1 variable, okay, d1 variable will hold the first memory location of this particular object, guys. Okay, that is 3. D1 will hold 3000. So that is the reason if you say system dot out dot println, and if you say something like d1 here, this will gonna give you an output of 3000, because that is the first memory location of this particular object. Okay, so what I want you to understand is you can create as many number of objects as you want. Okay, and this is how you will create an object. Okay, now one more thing what we discussed yesterday is the number of memory that is required for any object. Say I have created an object of dog class. I have created an object of dog class. How much memory does it need for this object? Okay, this one will depend on the global variables of this particular class. There are two global variables, so there might be some x number of, I don't know how much it will need. Okay, but if at all there are more number of global variables, it increases, guys. Okay, say if only two global variables are there, it might only occupy 4 bytes, but if at all there are 10 global variables, then it might occupy 20 bytes. Okay, so that is what I want you to understand. Okay, and in yesterday's class, this is what we have seen, how to create the objects. Okay, how to create the object, and I'll do it like this. Okay, I will do it slightly differently. Dog d1 equals to new object. Okay, this is how you have created the object. So I have created two objects, d1 and d2, and if you see, if I give you this debug view, debug as Java application. Okay, I'm executing line number 7. If you see, okay, a d1 object is created, and this is the memory location, guys, 156.150.99, and it has both the variables as age is 0, name is null. Now if you want to change the name from null to something else, you need to say d1.name is equal to abc. Okay, see, it got changed to abc. Again, I'm changing the date from 0 to 2. See, it got changed from 0 to 2. Now I'm printing that, printing d1. When I'm printing d1, it is actually printing the memory location. That is what you can see at the bottom. Okay, if you see here, it's actually printing the memory location, guys. Okay, now I'm creating one more object. You will see d2 object there. See, d2 object got created. It is at memory location, some other memory location, and it also has the age and the name. So now I'm changing name to xyz. See, it got changed to xyz, and age I'm changing to 55. Okay, so you have to understand this particular objects, d1 and d2 objects, in this way, guys. Okay, say all these objects gets created in a memory location, name of the memory called as heap memory, guys. Okay, heap memory, the memory name of the memory, that is what they have given, guys. It is called heap memory. Okay, and say heap memory starts from 100. Okay, 101. So like that it goes. Okay, like that it will go. Yes, heap is the name given by the Java guys. Okay, so there is nothing called as, if you see in the computer programming, they will say heap memory, but yeah, this particular term is normally used by Java people. Okay, so that is the thing. So, and it is not necessary always that, say, sorry, here I have written it wrongly. 101. Let me. Okay, so it's a continuous memory. Okay, like this. Okay. Okay, now what I want you to understand is here, when you create dog d1 equals to new of dog. Okay, say dog takes 4 bytes of memory. Okay, dog object takes 4 bytes of memory. So these 4 bytes will be allocated for the first object. Okay, consider these 4 bytes will be allocated for the first object. Now, first object has two properties. One is age, and one more property is name property. Okay, say name property takes 3 bytes. Okay, say these 3 bytes will be allocated for name property, and initially it will be null, and it's a global variable, and age will be 0 because it is an int. It will be 0, guys. Okay, now when you create d2 object, okay, it is not necessary that it will be right after this. Okay, it's completely dependent on operating system, and there is something called inside your operating system, there is something called as, memory management unit. Okay, it will decide which particular memory area should I allocate for d2 object. Okay, so it might create any other place. It is not necessary that d2 object will be created at 104 to 107. No, anywhere it's possible, guys. Okay, but again it will occupy the similar amount of memory. Okay, say here it will be null. Initially when you create the object, it will be 0. When you say d1.name equals to abc, instead of null, abc will be written it here, guys. When you say d1.age equals to 2, instead of 0, 2 will be written here, guys. In the same way, when you say d2.name equals to xyz, xyz will be written here. And when you say d2.age equals to 55, 55 will be written. So what I want you to understand is all these objects are independent object, guys. Okay, this object is different, this object is different. Even though class, they are created from the same class, these two are different objects. Understood? And it's up to you what you want to write here. What you want to write here, instead of xyz, say tomorrow you want to change its value from xyz to something else, all you need to do is d2.name. It's taking some time, guys. d2.name is equal to, say, wwf. Okay, now it will not affect the first object. This, it will erase this d2 object, and instead of xyz it will print wwf. That's it. And this is how it works, guys. Oh, it's not 4 bytes here, it's, say, here it is taking 3 bytes, so here also it will take only 3 bytes. Okay, just 1 minute. Here also it will take 3 bytes. It will say wwf, and here 112, what is that, 55 will be written. Here it is 2. Okay, so if at all the first object takes 4, completely 4 bytes, 100 to 103, here 109 to 112, 4 bytes. Okay, so these two objects are independent objects, guys, in the memory. Any doubts, anyone? And here it's not null, what we had written, abc. Okay, fine, guys. Now I want you guys to think and answer me on the similar lines. I want you guys to think and answer me something. Now Ankit is saying same memory allocation to the local variable. Okay, now Ankit, you are talking about, say, if I have a print method here, public static void, and say print, and if I say int x. Okay, now you are saying whether x will reside in heap area or not, correct? Is that your question? Okay, so as of now, forget about the local variables. Okay, forget about the local variables. It will be handled slightly differently. Yes. Okay, let's concentrate only on the global variable things. Okay, yes. Now any other question, guys? Any one of you, any other question? No? Okay, fine, guys. there will be something called as program memory area. That is where it will be done, but don't worry as of now. Okay, yeah. Now I want you guys to think and answer me. Okay, so I'm creating a new package. I'll create a class called as student class. I will say int roll number. Create student. Okay, create student. And one more thing I want you guys to understand is, okay, actually we are trying to understand student class. This class create student class is just helping us, okay, helping us to understand the student class. Okay, but try to concentrate on this class, guys, this class. Okay, that is the thing. This is the main class. We are testing that class now. Okay, now can someone tell me if I write something like this, if is this the correct way of creating the student? Yeah, Ankit is saying yes. Yes, this is the correct way of, you know, declaring the student object. That's fine, guys. Okay, here this is just the variable name, guys. Okay, this is just the variable name. Yeah, object name, variable name. Yes, that's correct, guys. Now if I say student dot roll number, what will be printed, guys? Ankit is saying 0. Any other answer? Any other answer? Nidhi is saying some default value. Ankit is saying memory location. Ankit is giving two different answers. Okay. Yeah, Nidhi, your answer is the closest one. Yeah. And Ankit, 0 is correct. Okay. No, one thing you should understand is Ankit's other answer is memory location. Memory location will be printed only when you print directly student. That is what I said. And why it is printing the memory location, that also we discussed. What Java does is, it will create an object, okay, and some memory, say from 10,000 or 1,000 or 100 to 105. Okay, these 5 memory locations are allocated to this particular object. Okay, and it will create this variable called student. Okay, and the student will have some value. What is that value? 100 will be returned to it, guys. 100 will be returned to it. That's the reason when you print student, it will print you the memory address. Okay, but my question is not that. My question is, so if you print this one, it will definitely print the memory address. Let's check it. See, it is indeed giving you the memory address. Okay, this is the memory address. The other part, just ignore it, guys. Okay, other part is just about the package name and the class name. Okay, just ignore it. But my question is student dot roll number. Okay, say what you have to understand is there will be a, what I said, if you see here, it will create an object. It will create an object in the heap memory. Okay, and there is only one global variable to this student object. So say it takes only 2 bytes. Okay, 2 bytes. So in this byte, it will write this some default value. What is the default value? It will write 0, guys. Okay, for anything, for example, for the things like int, float, long, any number, it will always print, it will always give default value as 0. So that is the reason if I say this one, it is giving you 0 here. Understood? The default value. But if it is a string, say there is one more variable, say string name, and I will print student dot name. That will gonna give you null, guys. Any doubts here? No? Okay. Some default value. All global variables will be assigned to some default value, guys. We have seen difference between local variable and the global variable. Local variable you cannot directly print. You have to initialize it to some value. But the global variable will have some default value to it. That is the important thing. Say now when this line gets executed, okay, I said some objects get created. Some object got created. Okay, something like this. And say it is taking total 5 bytes. Okay, just imagine it takes 5 bytes. So here it is null, and here it is 0. Okay, and this particular thing is what? Name, and the other one is roll number. Roll number is 0. Okay, you want to change from null to something else, you have to say object name, that is student dot name is equal to Shiva. Okay, now what will gonna happen is this null will be removed, and instead of that Shivam will be printed, guys. Here, that is what you need to understand. Now can someone tell me, if I create, say this is student, and I'm creating one more object, student1. Okay, what will be the output of line number 13, guys? This line one which I highlighted. Ankit is saying null. Nidhi is saying null. That is right, guys. Okay, this is what I want you to understand. See what happened. What you have to understand is, when line number 7 gets executed, one object gets created. Okay, say it occupies around 4 bytes. Okay, first 3 byte is allocated for name, and the last byte is allocated for null and 0. Okay, this is how the object looks like. Okay, and say it is at memory location 4 5 6 7. Okay, this is the memory, same, this is the memory location. Okay, and you are changing name from, for this object you are changing name from null to Shivam. Okay, now you are creating one more object, and say it is at some other memory location, say 607 608 609 610. This is one more memory. So here one more object will be created, and here it is 0 and here it is null, guys. So if you say this one is, first one is student object and second one is student one object. Okay, so this is what you have to understand, guys. Each object is independent. Okay, each object is independent. Okay, uh, now there is a question, Ankit is saying the memory location will always be in continuous form. For example, what he's saying is, say for one object memory location, say, is it possible that this particular object is there, it's occupying from 607 to 608 609 6010. Is it possible that instead of 609 and 10, say, you know say it is something like this. Okay, here only first two bytes are taken by this object, and then 60910 is taken by some other object. Okay, some other object or something else. Okay, now these two, that is one highlighted, 607 and 608, and it totally occupies two things, right? And the other two are here. Okay, is it possible? Yeah, this is possible. Okay, it happens that it sometimes you need not be, you might not have the continuous memory even for a single object, because sometimes I will tell you, an object, okay, in case of arrays and all, an array might have 10,000 names stored on it. Okay, so it is not always necessary that it will be in the continuous line. Okay, so even for one object it might be splitted. Okay, so all those things will be managed by your Java virtual machine. Okay, and under the hood it will be, again, in turn will be managed by your operating system, guys. Okay, yeah, it's always not necessary that it will be in the continuous block of memory. Okay, any other doubt, guys? No. Okay, now if at all you guys understand this much, now this is a very important concept for you guys for today to know. Okay, and you guys always wondered what is this. I used to say something like this: static. Okay, I might have written something like static here. Okay, you guys might have wondered what is the static, and this is the time to understand what is static, guys. Okay, and this is so much important. Okay, before I can tell you about the static, okay, I want you guys to ask some other question just to make sure you guys are on correct thing. I will say this on S1 and I will create, just a minute, guys. This is important. Static is so much important. Okay, S2, S3, s4. Okay, I will say s1 dot, sorry, s3 dot name equals to Shivam, and I will say s4 dot name. What will be the output of this particular program, guys? What will be the output of line number 13? Nidhi is saying null, Shivam is saying null, Ankit is saying Shivam. Ankit is saying don't know why. No, Ankit, it will be null. It will be null. That's because you have to think it like this. Okay, first one object will be created. Say this is all is the memory. Okay, this is all is the memory. Okay, everything. Say first object will be created in this memory location. Second object will might have been created in these four memory location. Third object might be somewhere here. Fourth object might be somewhere here. Okay, so all objects will have the similar thing. They merge. This is also merge. This is also merge. This is also merge. So all will have null and 0. Correct? All objects will have null and 0. Say null and 0. And here also null and 0. Okay, say this is s1, s2, s3, s4. Okay, now what you are saying, s3 dot name equals to Shivam. Say this is your s3 object. The one which is in yellow is your s3 object. You're making it from this, for this object you're saying Shivam, and now you, what you're trying to print, what you're trying to access, s4. Say this is, what is this, is orange color, I believe. Okay, if at all you are saying s4 dot name, it will give you null. But if at all you had said s3 dot name, then it would have given you Shivam. Okay, so understand that everything is a sub, everything will have its own, what do you call this, the memory location. Okay, this is what you need to understand. Now here is the interesting story. Now there is one more question. Just give me 1 minute, guys. For s1 s3, it's gonna print null. Yes, so Shivam is saying, if you say s1 dot name, s2 dot name, and s4 dot name, yeah, s for s4, Shivam, it's s1, s2, s4, it will be null. Only for s3 dot name, it will be Shivam. Okay, so that is the thing. Yeah, now let me tell you, all this is fine as long as name variable is, if at all, is not static. This is all fine if name variable is non-static. There is this concept called as static variable and non-static variable. Static variable and non-static variable in Java. And believe me guys, okay, believe me, when I interview someone, around 95% of the Selenium guys getting it wrongly. Okay, believe me, 95% of the Selenium guys getting it wrongly. Okay, so let's understand what is static and what is non-static. Okay, so how to make a variable static? Simple. If you say static, it becomes a static variable, and if you remove the static keyword, it becomes a non-static variable. Any doubt how to make a variable a static? What is the difference we have not seen, guys? Okay, that is what we'll be seeing. But if you want to make it static, so if at all someone asks you whether roll number is a static variable or non-static variable, what do you guys think? Roll number is a static variable or non-static variable? Yes, roll number is non-static, but name is static variable. Okay, this is what you need to understand. Fine, fair enough. Now I made previously when we were seeing this output, it gave me null because it was non-static. But you will gonna see a difference here. If I'm making it a static, and now I run, it gives you Shivam. See? I'll write everything. Okay, we'll print all four. Okay, s1 dot name, s2 dot name, s3 dot name. Okay, see guys, I'm removing this static keyword. Now the name is not static. This is the output, and I hope there is no doubt about it. Any doubt in this output? Anyone? You can ask me. No? Okay. But if I say static, I'm making it static and I'm running it. Everything converts into Shivam. Can someone tell me, like, anyone is aware what is static and what is non-static? Yeah, static is a keyword, member of class. No. Yeah, Shivam is saying static is keyword. Yes, it's a member of class. No, like, yeah, your sentence is correct, but is it giving you any, tell me like something which people can understand. What do you mean by member of class? This is what you will see on the internet. Okay, they will say static belongs to class, non-static belongs to objects. Don't worry, don't go there, don't even read there. I'll tell you what is static. Okay, what is static? And this is important to know, guys. Okay, what is static? So far I have said every object. Say this is your s1 object, this is your s2 object, this is s3 object, and this is s4 object. Correct? I said every object will have its own name, own roll number. This also will have its own name, its own roll number, its own name, its own roll number, its own name, its own roll number. Imagine you are creating an application, okay, and say creating an application, and every student has a variable called string country, okay. So now this particular student class has, or before that, okay, why we use it, we'll see it later, okay. Now we'll go with the both, only these two things, okay. When I make this as a static, what happens is this name property will not be there in each and every object, guys. Instead, what will happen is it will be treated as a separate object like this. At some memory location, it will be treated as a separate object, okay. Say it's at memory location, say 7000 or 700, 701 and 702, okay. What will gonna happen is this name Shivam will be written somewhere here. Shivam will be written somewhere over here, and all these objects will have pointer to this object, okay. Say what will gonna happen is this object will share this object, this also will share this object, this one will also share this object, and this one will also share this object. Whatever you made it as static, that variable will be shared across, that property or that variable will be shared across all the objects, guys. That is the thing that you need to know. So probably they will have just the pointer, say 700, okay, because it's a 700 memory location. This also will have 700, okay. This also will have 700. It will just have the pointer to this actual, shared variables. Each and every object will have a pointer to the shared variable. And we have also seen this particular thing, name used to take 3 bytes, correct? If at all you make this one as a static, probably your object will be changed slightly a bit, okay. It will occupy only 2 bytes. This one will have 700, and this one will, the second will be used to store your roll number property. This one also 700 and roll number, this one also 700 and roll number, this one also 700 and roll number. Previously each object was taking 4 bytes, now it is taking only 2 bytes. That's because the name variable you are making it as a static, okay. So what happens is 4 objects will be created like this, s1, s2, s3, s4, and this name, what is that, Shivam you have written, right, will be shared by all these objects. Name will be shared by all these objects, guys. This is what is static. So since it is shared, say it is at 700 memory location 700, okay. So your this object will have roll number of 0 and 700 because it's a pointer to this object, to this name object. This one also will have 0 or whatever is the, you know, roll number, and 700 and 0, 700 and 0. The 700 is there, it's a pointer to this static variable, guys. So what you need to understand is, if at all you make this name as static, then each object will have separate name field, but if you make it as non-static, if you remove the static, then each object will have separate name field, guys. But if you make this one as a static, then name will be shared by all the objects, guys. Even if you have 10,000 different objects, if you create, say, s1, s2, s3, if you say 10,000 different objects, and in any one object, if you say like that, if you keep on creating, and if you say at last it's 10,000, okay, 10,000, even for 10,000, it will still say Shivam, because that's a shared variable, guys. That's a shared variable. See, it is saying Shivam for everything. Even if you create 10 million objects, all objects will have name Shivam, because that is a static variable, guys. Understanding what is static, anyone having any doubt? Anyone having any doubt? No? Okay. If no doubt, can someone tell me what will be the output, guys? Nidhi is saying for all from 18 to 21, for all it will be Nidhi. That is what he's saying. Yeah. Ankit is saying yes. Nidhi is also saying yes. That is correct, guys. Okay. So what happens if you see, that is correct. If you see, everything will have value of Nidhi here. Everything will have value of Nidhi. Why? It's very simple, guys. Okay. You're creating 4 objects. Yes, latest value gets printed. That's right. What Nidhi is saying is 4 objects are getting created: S1, S2, S3, and S4. Okay, 4 objects are created, and this one name variable will be shared. Okay, and initially when the objects are created, the name variable will be null. Okay, null here. But on line number 15, you are changing it from name, from null, and you are saying Shivam. Now all variables will have this, all objects has the same name variable, that is Shivam. But again on line number 17, you are changing it. Instead of Shivam, you are saying Nidhi. Okay, so that's the reason. See, it's a shared object. So whoever has updated last, that will be available. That value will be available for the all the objects, guys. That is important thing to know. Now, now there is a question from Ankit. What Ankit is saying is, I want to, at this point of time, I want to print. I want to print here and then again print here. Now, can you guys tell me from line number 18 to 21, what will be the output? Eighteen to 21. 18 to 21 is Shivam. Yeah, that's right, guys. Okay. Okay, what happens is, this is the output, guys. It will first print Shivam, 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 and then Nidhi. Why? First, we are creating four objects. Four objects. Okay, not four. Totally five objects, even 10,000. Okay, so totally five objects we are creating. S1, S2, S3, S4, and S10,000. Five objects we are creating. And this is the common object. Okay, this is common name. Okay, which will be shared. Initially it was null, but on line number 15 you are making it as a Shivam here, and line number 18 to 21 it will print Shivam. That's because at this point of time, when these lines gets executed, 18 to 21 line gets executed, everything which will have name of Shivam. So that's the reason Shivam will be printed, and that is what you see here. And after that you are erasing this Shivam and you are saying Nidhi here. Now 24 to 27, everyone will print Nidhi. Whichever is the latest, when this line gets executed, line number 24 gets executed, what is the value of name variable? It's as simple as that. When line number 19 gets executed, what is the value of name variable? It's as simple as that, guys. Any doubts? Still anyone confused why it is Shivam and why it is Nidhi, something like that? No? Okay. Now you guys might be wondering, why do we, okay, why now there's a question from Ankit, why warning showing on line number 10, 15, 18 and 19? 10, 15, 18 and 19. Okay, 10, what is that? Maybe it is saying S4 is not used. Yeah, see, what it is saying is we have declared a variable called S4. It is not used anywhere. So it is, if at all you are not gonna use this, why you are creating it? Are you using this S4 anywhere? No. That is what it says. What it is saying, the static field should be accessed in a static way. Okay. Now don't worry about the 15, 18, 19. Okay. There is something called as static variable. What it is saying, the 10th one, I hope it's clear why it is giving you this particular warning. Okay, it is saying S4 you have created, but you are not using S4 anywhere. Why you are creating it if at all you are not using it? Okay, that's fair enough. But if you see 15, what it is saying is name is a static field, so access it in a static way. Access the name variable in a static way. That we will see how to access the name variable in a static way or a non-static way. But this is not serious, guys. Okay, so don't be worried about this one. Okay. Now, but you have to understand, why do we make something as static? Why do we? What will be the scenarios wherein there will be a variable which has to be same for all the objects? Okay, that we will see in tomorrow's class. But I hope you guys understood what is the fundamental difference between static and non-static. Okay, and this is what questions I answer I get in around 60% of the interview. If 60% of the people in the interview answer it like this: static is something which cannot be changed, non-static can be changed. Okay, there is nothing like that, guys. Okay, static variable can also be changed, but if it is changed, it gets changed for all the objects. Okay, so that is what you need to understand. And that's it for today, guys. If you guys don't have any question on what is static and what is non-static, we are done for today. In tomorrow's class we will see more about you know static and non-static. All right, and if there is no questions, you guys can drop the line. And Ankit, Shivam, I have already uploaded yesterday's class. Today's class I will upload it now. Okay, yesterday's class in today in the afternoon I uploaded, and today's class I'll upload today or early morning tomorrow. Okay, yeah, if you go to that link, yeah, link also I will send you guys. Okay, but if you go to that what is that called, playlist, you will see it. Okay, anyone, any other question? But yeah, I'll send you the link as well. No, if nothing, that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining, guys. Bye bye.
Bye. Good night.
Yeah, bye. Good night, guys.